Hi, my name is Nancy, and today we're going to talk about Stressed Sarah. So a little bit of background on Sarah. She's a 45-year-old executive, and she's got 2 young children that she's taking care of. And she is an executive that's really busy, and she puts her work and other priorities in front of her own health and her own wellness. She often is rushing around to different things, and she's putting her kids to extracurricular activities so that they keep busy. Her nutrition is usually around boxed meals and takeout. And I think in terms of the aspect of nutrition, where I think there's many different things that come into play. And I think the first thing is, I would ask is she even interested? Does she see anything wrong with what she's doing, first and foremost? And assuming that she is, that she says that nutrition is something she wants to work with, is a couple other things to consider is that she has a couple of relationships that I would want to address, such as like a relationship with time. She seems to think that time is a very precious resource and that she'd rather put other priorities in front of her own health. The second one is the relationship with food. So the first one with time, I guess, would be how do you make meals so that they're quick, nutritious, and still going to nourish her in a way that's going to fuel her body. And also, she's also she's the example for her children. And so if she's not eating well, how can her kids actually see that how to mimic to eat well as well? Mm-hmm. And the relationship with food is the same idea. Does she even see it's important to actually eat well? And that's the history about how she grew up and her relationship with food as well. So things around how to change those things would be just to slow things down. Maybe at the beginning, it's getting her buy-in to say, okay, can we actually get you to eat? Instead of sitting at your desk and not taking breaks to eat, maybe it means like having a fridge in your office and having smoothies so that it's prepared, it's ready to go. She can just take a straight shot down and then go back to work. Maybe it's having nuts at her desk. Maybe it's having fresh blueberries, whatever's in season, so that it's easy for her to access. And then the second thing is around her kids and her relationship with her kids. How do you get them to understand that food just doesn't come out of a takeout container? That's not actually how food is, or that it doesn't just come out of a grocery store. Like, how do you connect them with the food in the environment? Like, maybe it's you take them to a farm. Maybe you take them to like pick apples or pick blueberries or something, so that there's like some interaction to make it fun, to make it like, okay, this is actually where food comes from. Or maybe you go fishing, something like that. I would say also, if time is the issue for her, it would also be around like, how do you implement healthy meals? So if she's an executive, she's probably got some source of funding, money. Maybe it means hiring a personal chef to cook for them so that the meals are prepared, they're healthy, they're homemade. Maybe it involves actually having these kids prepare meals with this personal chef. Maybe it means going to do these extracurricular activities is maybe their cooking classes as a family. And this is all assuming that she sees that this is an issue, I think. Or maybe it's grocery tours. Let's see, what else? Or maybe it's even just shopping help. Maybe you got to find where she's finding it difficult. Maybe she doesn't have time to go to the grocery store. Maybe it's having someone go get the groceries so that she's able to prepare and having easy to eat things for the kids when they get home. In terms of professionals, I think it would start with her own counseling to figure out what her needs are. And then from there it would be like, depending on what she says, then the health professionals, the dietitian would help. I think the last thing too would just be having her kids understand why it's important to eat healthy. And maybe it's reviewing very simple things like Canada's food guide, why each food group is actually important and why it nourishes us in different ways. So to get her on board, get her kids on board, and then I guess then you can go wherever you want with that.
That sounded great. Thank you so much, Nancy.
Thank you.
Something that comes to mind with a busy professional that is eating on the go and not sitting down to eat is a concept that When you are preparing food and you are cooking the food or smelling the food or talking about food, your digestive system picks up on those cues and it actually starts the process. So you start salivating, your pancreatic enzymes get ready to be excreted, and your digestive juices start being excreted, so you're ready to receive that food. And that actually decreases the chance of indigestion or having cramps, bloating, etc. So you have better digestion from that. So it might be as simple as education and talking to her about that. I love the idea of her sharing a meal with her kids and being an example for her kids. So
actually, I would just add to that too, is like this whole idea of mindful eating. It's actually for her and her kids to maybe take a piece of chocolate and just really enjoy it and utilize all the senses when you're actually, so you're slowing everything down and you're actually enjoying the thing that they really enjoy, and yet still connecting in a really meaningful way.
Love that. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.